using the telnet, SSH, or any serial interface. So here your server is going to authenticate whether you are right user or the wrong user, maybe hacker. Okay, so your TACAS is nothing but your terminal access control system. This is the Cisco proprietary. Yesterday I already discussed, because whenever you access any router, okay, you must have the authentication, like the telnet. Be using telnet or console users. Example here is given user access verification. So username, okay, and password. Okay, then only you can able to access your router. Okay, so we will do this lab. Here we have the two types of authentication, that is local database. The configuration is very simple, just 2-3 line command. So I will design this topology. Okay, so then we'll start doing this lab. Okay, by using line console is nothing but for your router. Okay, whenever you want to access the router, okay, it will ask the username and password. Then only the router will allow you to access the router. That is line console. Okay, so local authentication, CCIEV is nothing but is the password. It can be any password. Then we have to create the user, how we are creating for line VTY. Okay, he has created the admin and password he has given. AA authentication, login local. Same thing you are how we are doing for authentication for telnet. So before I could start the lab, so just try to understand here the topology. So here we can see this is my R1 and R2. So this is AA authentication using the local database. Okay, so here we have the two servers, okay, Radius server and your TACAS server. Okay, so here what things you should do, we should configure the IP address as per the topology. Okay, then configure any routing protocol. Maybe you can configure OSPF or EIGRP, any routing protocol. OSPF or any EIGRP protocol, you can able to configure it. So after this, then we have to configure your AA authentication. Okay, why I'm showing this workbook means, if you follow this workbook, okay, it will help you to do the lab. Okay, so let's design this topology. Okay, so let me open my Cisco packet tracer. So let's take this two router. We'll take two switches. And as you can see, he has taken the two servers and two clients. And here has taken, I think, 3 PC or let me check. He has taken how many? Yeah, just 2 PC and here 2 PC. That's it. Okay, let's connect this serial interface module. So today I'm going to explain as well as the wireless as well. We'll do the wireless lab also. I think, let me hop this. Let's connect serial interface. Okay, so what is this lab? So this is something but a. So yeah, authentication using local database. Okay, so let's assign the IP address. See, the IP address will give as per this topology, guys, so that will not get any confusion. He has given 1.100 and 2.100. Same thing, how we used to give, same we will give accordingly. Okay, so let's give this IP address 1.100 and this is 2.100. And this server IP address is 1.1. This is 1.2. This is 1.3. And this is 1.4. Okay, what about this? This is 2.1. This is 2.2. Okay, so we have assigned the IP address as per this thing. Okay, so let's configure this and see this IP address what we will give. This guy has given 10 dot IP address. Will give the same range. So we'll give 10.0.0.2. I think 1, and this is 2. So just I'm assigning the IP address for your first lab. I'm doing right from the scratch. So what is the first thing we should do here? So go to global configuration mode. First give the host name, that is your R1. This is my router 1. Okay, first thing is we'll give gigabytes 0/0/0 IP address 192.168.1.100 and give the subnet mask. We'll give the no shut. The interface serial. Okay, so serial IP address is. So pay attention, guys. This is very important lab.
Okay.
So this is a serial interface. So I'll give the clock rate. Okay, so we have done this one. So if you want, we can give any DSCP configuration for the server. Okay, so I will not give DSCP configuration because we'll give manually IP address for these PCs. Okay, so I say 192.168. This is 1.1. Okay, and gateway is 100. So as per the label, what I label there, I'm giving accordingly that one. And this is 1.2. Gateway is 1.100. So manually, I'm assigning the IP address. I'm not configuring DHCP. Like if you want, we can configure from your side.
Yeah, the DSCP. Okay.
Okay, if you want, we can configure. Yeah, I want to configure manually.
Okay.
So this is 4.
Oh yeah.
Fine. So this is done now. So example, this is my DHCP server. Okay, and this is my other network. Fine. So now what we have to do here, we have to configure any routing protocol. So let's configure this routing protocol. So example, OSPF will configure. OSPF, the process ID I'll give 10. Okay, I'll give network 10.0.0.0. Okay, and wildcard mask is 0.255.255.255. I'll put it in area 0. And one more network 192.168.1.0. So what is the wildcard mask for this? 0.0.0.255. Right? This also I'll put it in area 0. That's it. So do right. Show IP route OSPF. Okay, still other side we are not yet configured. Okay, let's configure the router 2 now. Okay, so go to CLI. Okay, so this is my router 2. Okay, host name will be router 2. So I'll go to the serial interface first. So IP address is 10.0.0. Okay, and give the subnet mask. Invalid subnet mask, one more 0. Okay, so no shutdown. So now interface is up now. So let's give the LAN interface now. So what is IP address? So 192.168 2.100. Exit. So now, so here also we should configure the OSPF configuration. Router OSPF 10, network 10.0.0.0. So what is the subnet mask? So, sorry, wildcard mask here. This also I'll put it in area 0. And same thing for 2 network. And here 0.0.0.255. I'll put it in area 0. Okay. So then exit, do write. But I'll just want to save these configurations. So now we can see show IP route to ASPF. Now we can see, now we can able to communicate with other router. So 192.168.1.100. Okay, so we have the reachability now. Fine. So we have done the basic configuration. So now let's see the task, like how we can able to configure your router configuration. Same thing he has already configured. We are done with this one. So here we should configure the task now. The task is configure the local AA authentication for console access for the R1. Okay, for the R1, we should do the console access. So how we can do this? Okay, we have to create the username AA model. Okay, with this one. Okay, as we can see, AA new model must be configured AA related command to become the active, as well as the global radius and toughness command. Okay, so how do we this is configured here? So just go to the R1. So this is my R1. So if you type the same command, so we got the configuration. So how do we configure this? Just go to global configuration mode. So create the user. I will create admin. So password I will use Cisco 123. Okay. So AA authentication. If you give the question mark, it will give the module name. So as you know that it is, so we are going to configure the new model. Enable the new access control command for the function. Okay. So I'm going to configure the new one, new model. That's it. So now what else we should configure? So as we can see, now we are doing the local authentication. If any user want to access, he must know the password. Okay, for the R1. So he has given the example how we can do AA authentication. Use the question mark. Okay, so authentication. Okay, AA authentication. Login. If you give the question mark, it will ask you whether you want to do the default. We want to do just default. Default local. If you give the question mark, it will give the option. We are going to do the local database. You should check the authentication. Okay. Now, how do we verify this one? Okay, so how do we verify this? So just end this one, exit. If you press enter, it will ask the username. Can you see? What is the username you have given? Admin. Password is Cisco123. Okay, this is the local authentication, guys. So very simple. Okay, so now the next one is he's asking us to configure your verification of the method with the same as a line VTY. So verify the telnet configuration for the prompt for 1.3 telnet to R1. Enable the password. So here he's asking us to configure the telnet. So we have to give the command enable secret password. Enable. If you give a question mark, it will give the like, password. Password means it will give the password. It will display when you run the show run command. Okay, so it will show you the password. So if you give the secret, it will be encrypted. Secret Cisco 123, what password we have given. So now what we are going to do, we just configure this one telnet. Okay, line VTY 0 to 4. Okay, password I'll give same password just to avoid the confusion. Password Cisco 123. Okay, login local. Key authentication is enabled. Command not support. Using the authentication methodology or profile. No problem. So let's check the we can be able to do the telnet. So example, this is my user. Let check telnet to 192.168. Okay, so admin password is Cisco 123. Yes. Okay, this is the local authentication, Cisco 123. Yes. See, it asking the two-time password. Have you noticed, guys? So let me show you once again. So if you go to the command line from any one of the client, okay, so if I do the telnet, if any user want to access the router, say router IP address is 1.100. The first username it asking for router access. The admin, I have given the admin, the password is Cisco 123. Okay, now we are enter into the router, but we cannot configure anything. Again, if you configure anything, so it will be the wrong. Okay. So what if you enable, okay, again is asking the password. Okay. So this password is Cisco 123 again, same password I have given. So now I can able to configure your router from here. This is the local authentication of your EA authentication. I hope you understood, guys, all of you. Okay. Same thing for he has configured for your router 2 now. Same thing for local database. So that line beautify for the console. This time he has configured for the console. So let's do that for the router 2 now. So this is my router 2. Okay, so here I will going to configure your line console 0. Guys, remember line console is for router. Okay, whenever you want to access the router, you must know the password. Okay, so login authentication. He has given CCNA, so we will also give the CCNA. A warning. So yeah, authentication list CCNA is not defined for local. Okay, so we can give no problem. So let's see what happened. So I'll give for telnet as well. Local authentication CCNA. Okay, so we have done this configuration. Before that, I think we have forgot to configure this one. We have to create the user here. User, I'll give admin. Okay, password. I think he has given a different password, but we will give our password, guys. So we will give password Cisco 123. A authentication. Here also we the new model. A authentication. Login. I'll use CCNA. Local default will use because same thing. What we are given. If you give the question mark, you'll give. We'll give the command. It will help you guys. Okay. So we are done with this one. So how to check the verification? How to check the verification, guys? Okay, I will write this. Exit from here. When you enter, it logs a username. Username what we are given? Admin. Password is Cisco 123. Okay, we are entered to the router now. If you type enable, okay, now it will allow you to access your router. This is the local authentication. Same thing, if we check for from the user, any one of the users, say example, this user. I think we are not given the IP address for this. Let's check. Yes, I think we know. So 192.168, I think 2.1. 168, 2.100. And same thing, we'll give the IP address for this client. This is 2.2. This is the default gateway. Let's do the telnet. Telnet 192.168. I'm going to access the router from this PC. 200.1. So here is asking the username. Admin Cisco 123. Enable. See for enable. Okay, there's no password set. Okay, so we cannot access from here. Fine. Suppose I will exit from here. So I'll ping once again admin I'll give CCNA here. Cisco 1 to 3, right? Yeah. Oh, or in close. Admin. Yes. Okay. So now we can able to access the router 2 as well. No, we are not given any password here. So if you see the configuration, show run. So we can see local authentication. We are given the CCNA local authentication password. The username, the password we are given Cisco 123 for the telnet. Fine. We have configured the OSPF for line VTY. Suppose like for the for CCNA password, if we exit from this router, okay, here it will ask you Cisco 123. If you enable here, now we can allow you to access your router. This is the basic authentication for the device. You must configure. If you see any organization, so they will mandatory, they will configure this AI authentication so that unauthorized user cannot access your router or your infrastructure, maybe your server or router or switch. Okay. I hope you understood, guys. This is a basic lab. And next lab is you are using the external server. Okay. So using external server, so how we can configure this? Okay. So same thing, what we did, just we have to configure the using the TACAS, authentication, your TACAS. Okay. TACAS means nothing but your terminal access control system. Okay, this is the Cisco proprietary. So how we can configure this required some ACS server. So let's see the lab. Okay, same topology. So he's asking us to remove the AI authentication. The previous lab what we did. Okay, so then we can configure your the castle radius. So let's do that. So how we can configure? First thing is we have to remove this. So what I will do, guys? So I will save this lab. I will take the new lab. So I will save this as AA lab local database. Okay, so what I will do, same lab I'll copy. Just I'll rename it by using this lab is AA authentication using external using TACAS. TACAS Plus. Okay, so it will open the same lab. Okay. So just I'll change this to using TACAS. So how to remove the previous configuration? Just we need to add the no. That's it. Remaining commands are same. So what is the username? Admin Cisco 123. Password Cisco 1. That's very important. So when you forgot your password is very difficult to break that. This is not a computer password. Okay, what happened here? So you should take the backup of your configuration, then you have to do the flash. Remember, this is quite very important. Okay, so how do we remove this one? Show run. Okay, secret password. Okay, yeah, authentication. Username, I'll keep it admin, same thing. Okay, first I'll remove this. We want to remove this. He's asking us to remove. So I will go to global configuration mode, add and paste. Okay, so AI authentication has been removed from this side. Okay, so we can learn both the things here. So here also I'll going to remove it. Min Cisco 123. Sure. Will that? Yeah. We have to learn this one just shortcut just to avoid the timing, because if you do right from scratch, it will take long time. So here we have to reconfigure the server-based AI authentication using the TACAS protocol. So previously we are configuring on the router. So here we are going to configure on the server-based AI authentication protocol. Same thing, same topology. So using the your TACAS authentication. So how we can do? Just we have to enter the server and just we have to do the client. So example, he has given the how to configure here. Okay, so we have to keep the same. Just we remove the new model, what he has done. That one also we will do it. You want say no new model. This is for the router one. So now we'll go to your server now. Say let me write it down this server name. Configure. Okay, this is my TACAS. Okay. So go to services. So as we can see here, function. This is the physical configuration services. If you go to services, you can see the AI authentication. Okay, just on the AI authentication, we can see guys in the lab workbook, he has explained. So how to configure this. So that the results I'm following so that you can do it from your side. Okay, so everything is same. Okay, just we have to give the client name. We have to give the router name. Fine. So what I'm going to do, let me open the server. This is my AI authentication server. So what is asking us to do? What is the client name? This is my R1 router, right? Guys, you are following? The client
R1,
name
yes.
is 192.168.1.100. So what type of server type is? This is my
Yes.
TACAS. Okay. After that, what we have to do? Okay, we have to give the
Secret.
password. Cisco 123. Add. Okay. Then what else? Okay, he asked us to do the user. He's asking us to create one user. The password is user1, user1. Okay. I will create user1. Okay, password is also user1. We can do any your own password. All right. So let's create one more user, user2. Okay, password also user2. That's it. Okay. So then he has created the password. I think he has created the configure the router now. Because router should understand, right? So when user request, okay, uh, when the user requests to the router will send the request to the server, whether these guys authenticate or not. When it is authentic, then only it will allow you to access the router. Otherwise, it will block you. Understood? There is a logic here.
Yeah.
So we have created a user already. If you can see from here, admin and password Cisco 123. So just we'll create a TACAS server. Okay, give the question mark. Okay, you want to for the host. If any host want to access, okay, you are allowing to the user to access your router. Okay, for which PC you want to give the authentication? Let's say 1.3 and 1.4. Right? 1.3 and 1.4. So 192.168, 1.3. Okay. And we can give two because he has given only one. Okay, he has created only one. Okay, TACAS key password he has given one. Let's check one, then we'll do for other one, other as well. TACAS server. Here we'll give the password. Password I'll give say Cisco 123. Okay, otherwise you'll get this one confused, guys. Okay, so AA authentication. Okay, new model. This is a new model we are going giving this one. Then AA authentication. Okay, login. Okay, so here is asking the word. Okay, so we can give the word Cisco 123. I'll give Cisco 123. Then what we should give the question mark. See, here is quite very important. Here we should give, okay, we can give enable the password or group password. Group password meant for the server. Okay, it will send a request to the server if you give the group. Okay, here we have to give the group. Maybe we have a lot of users because as you know that we have created a 2 user, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So then give the question mark. Now, which one you want to configure? We have to configure your TACAS. TAC, TSE, ACS means Terminal Access Control System. Okay. So we are going to configure your TACAS. That's it. Okay. So after this, we'll configure your line console. I think line console we configure already. Line console 0. Line console 0 is for the router authentication. Okay, login authentication. Here also we will use Cisco 123 and exit. And just will save this one. So remember, this will work in latest routers. So he has mentioned here, AI will be working latest routers, not with the old routers. Okay. So let's do this. After this, he's asking us to check whether it's working or not. First, check for the router. Admin Cisco 123. Admin. Okay. Cisco 123. Okay, done. We are done with the password now. So now just configure the line VTY. So line for this one, guys. For this one to do this one telnet. I think telnet. I think you know right how to configure the tel authentication Cisco 123 and exit from the PC because as you know that we have configured with 1.3. Okay, for which PC we have given authentication 1.3 or 1.4? Check 1.3. Which PC? Yeah, 1.3 for this PC. We are allowing this PC to access the router. Router what will do? It will send the request to the TACA server whether the user is correct or not. Fine.
Right.
Yeah. So now what we have to do now? Line VTV is configured. Now we'll go to your PC3 now. Okay, this is our PC3. So what is the IP address for this? Just check. IP config. This is 1.3. Okay. So now from here is asking us to do the telnet. What it does, it will send the verification to the server. Okay. Telnet to the router 192.168.1.100. Okay. So he's asking the username. Username is admin. Password is Cisco 123. Okay. Cisco 123. Yes. Perfect. Right. So now we can see the users here. See, show user. Show users. So as we can see, one user is allowed. One user is active. Which user? 1.3. Same thing you can check from the router also. Show users. You can see. So user is this guy. He's accessing to the telnet. Same thing, we can give the permission for second user as well. How to configure for the second user? I think we configured for the two user. I think you remember, right? Services. The authentication. We have created the for the two users. Right? For the user one, okay, we have configured with this IP address. For the user two, okay, for 1.3 also we can configure. So how to configure 1.3? For 1.4. So how do we configure, guys? Same thing. So previously how we configured, same command. Okay, that is this command. So go to global configuration mode. Okay, and paste. Okay, this is for 4. User 4. Next, same thing. Once if you're done, okay, for other user also we can able to easily we can configure. Okay, next command is AA authentication. Okay, copy and paste. Anything else missing? Line VTY remains same here from this user. So let's check from this one, just be configured. Now it has to show the two users. Telnet 192.168 1.100. Okay, admin Cisco 123. Okay, Cisco 123. Yes, perfect. Let's see from the user. Show users. See here. Can you see now? Now it is showing two users now. Can you see, guys?
Yes.
Now it is showing the two users. Understood, guys? All of you. It's very important, lab guys. Same thing he has configured for second router. That is from router 2. From router 2, okay, also same he has configured. So for router 2, he has configured the radius. Same command, just need to add your radius server. Okay, so I think this router 2, I think better to do from your side, because one side I had done it. Okay, from other side you do it. Okay, I'll say this because I have shown you the two lab, right? Yeah, authentication and takas. Radius, because better to, I want you people to do it because you have the lab manual, lab workbook I have shared you. So here we have to configure the radius. Okay, this is the radius server. Okay, you want me to do or you will do from your side, guys? Same thing, just we have to configure the radius, nothing else. Understood, guys? All of you?
Yeah.
Okay, so CDP. Okay, so I will do, we will take small break now. Okay, so after the break, we'll continue the lab.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so next lab, I'm going to show you the wireless because I stopped the recording, I think, yeah. Right. So